All right, hello and welcome to another session of Fit Essentials. Here's our disclaimer and then we'll get moving. You're about to engage in an intense physical activity. Proceed with caution. Do not attempt to perform any movements or activity that exceed your current physical capabilities. Participants with injuries, high blood pressure, chronic health conditions, recent chest pain, or that have any other condition that may limit their ability to participate in this activity should consult their physician or healthcare provider before proceed. Let's go ahead and come to your feet. All right, feet right underneath the hips, palms in front of the chest. We're gonna start with 3 cycles of some breathing. You're gonna breathe in as you stretch up, fill the lungs with air. Reach as far as you're comfortable. Exhale, drop the arms down to the side. Good job. We're gonna go twice more. Breathe and reach. Exhale, relax. And last one. Breathe and reach nice and tall, lifting up out of the hips. And as you exhale, really open the shoulders, reach back behind. Very good. We're gonna go right into a reach and twist. Hand on the hip, reach across the body as you begin to twist. Having some beautiful fall weather here this morning. Everybody else is having good weather wherever you are. All right, once you finish that, we're gonna circle the hips, hands on the hips. Let's go 3 to 5 each direction. Just kind of feeling for any stiff areas and then reverse when you're ready there too. Kind of translate the hips out to the side, shifting and rolling through. Fantastic. Go ahead and just walk your feet just a little bit wider, slight bend of the knees, arms out to the side. Welcome, Jean. Send the hips back, reach to the opposite leg. Nice long spine. Let's get between 3 and 5 in each side. Engage those glutes as you stand, shoulders back and down. Just kind of gradually see if you can reach a little bit farther each time, not forcing anything. Very good. Once you finish up, about 5 or so on each side, go ahead and walk the feet back in a little bit. Hand on the hip, we're gonna reach up to overhead for a side stretch. If the sun's nice and bright, feel free to close the eyes. Pause for about 1 breath or so at the top and then switch when you're ready. Hand on the hip. Allow the hip to just gently translate to the side as you reach and stretch. Breathe there. And we're gonna repeat that once more each side. Get a nice strong base. Breathe and relax and switch when you're ready. Stretch it long and down. Fantastic. We're gonna go into our stagger stance. Let's step your right foot forward so you'll be a mirror of me, your left back. From here, we're gonna take the left hand to the opposite shoulder, pull that elbow down and in as you start to shift the back hip forward. Engaging the glute on the left, shifting the hip forward, gently translating that hip and rotating towards your lead leg. In and out there. And then when you're ready, interlace the hand, stretch up tall to overhead, and add some side bends. Good. Make sure you're nice and sturdy in the feet, bending to the side. Very good. And once more. Fantastic. Before we switch sides, we're going to go hand on the hip and then make nice big sweeping circles. Palm faces away from the body. And then as you come down towards the leg, palm turns in. As you reach to overhead, palm turns away. Let's get between 3 and 5 here, just taking your time. Really open up the chest, open through the shoulder. Paying attention to the legs that you're holding strong. Very good. About 1 more there. Sweep and open. Pull the shoulder back. And before we switch sides, let's go ahead back to those hip circles. Nice work. All right, then you're gonna go your left foot forward, right foot back, starting with the hand to the opposite shoulder, pull the elbow in, and we're shifting those hips forward, engaging the back glute, rotate towards the lead leg. Remember to fire that glute. Don't want to have any jamming in the back. Once you finish those, we'll interlace the hands, reach up to overhead, and now we're going to bend to the side. Stretch tall and side bend. Very good. Fantastic. About one more there. And then hand on the hip for the front leg. Nice big sweeping circles. Spread the hand, open the chest. Fantastic. 3 to 5. Follow it with your breath. So I inhale as I reach up. Exhale as I open the back part of the circle. Let's go one more. Very good. All right, let's finish that. Walk the feet in. We're gonna go a little bit of a blood flow into some step jacks or jumping jacks. So you can step either kind of step into the side or regular jumps. Good, we're gonna go another 20 seconds here. Very good. Breathing and moving. Very good, and then take that down to a march. Lift up through the core, keep the hips level. Opposite arm, opposite knee. Lift the knee, lift the foot. Welcome, Laura, good to see you.
Hi, I got on the wrong one.
Good to have you. All right. There you go, keep stepping. Fantastic, and from there, feel free if you want to kind of balance on anything. We're going to go same side, knee towards the elbow. Stretch long, elbow towards the knee. Good. Keeping the hips square. Good support. Stretch and reach. We're going all on one side and then we'll switch. If you can't quite touch the elbow to the knee, just do the best you can. Let's get about one more. Good. You want to rock the hips side to side before we go to that other side. Give the stabilizers a little bit of a break. And then when you're ready, lifting up through the core, same thing other side. Knee towards the same side elbow, stretch and reach. Nice, ladies. Good job. Keep lifting up through the core, holding nice and well. A couple more. Fantastic. Set those feet about hip width apart, slight toe out, slight bend in the knees. We're gonna bow forward, send the hips back, say hello to the hamstrings, engage the glutes, stand tall. Bowing forward, not going more than about 90 degrees or wherever you feel that tension in the back of the legs, stand from there. Good job. Couple more, just taking your time. And last one. All right, fantastic. We're gonna go back to the top, a little bit more blood flow, back to those jumping or step jacks. Nice job. Gets away, good, have some fun with it. About 10 more seconds here. Either marching, or if you prefer to skip in place, that will be next. All right, you can march and punch, or if it feels good for you to skip, knees up, nice little bounce with it. Get some good lymph flow into the body. Fantastic. 10 more seconds here. Good, and rest. Same side. Instead of repeating those knee to elbows, we're gonna get a little bit more glute activation. So if you don't have a bench, you can come down on the floor and do the bird dog, or follow me for the elevated knee to elbow. So we're gonna bring the knee into the same side elbow, extend the leg straight back, fire the glute. Knee to the same side, and extend. Let's go anywhere between 6 and 10. Nice and supported. Just watch that low back, no arching. 6. You can pause in that extended position. Good. And let's go one more. Fantastic. You need to shake it out at all in between. Otherwise, whenever you're ready, we're going to go between 6 and 10 on the opposite side. Again, watch that low back, especially as you extend the leg back behind you. That's when you'll tend to have that movement through your pelvis. So I really want to think about what's going on at the core. And continue to breathe smooth here. Good job. Couple more. In. Last one. Fantastic. If you're down on all fours, knees together, rock the hips side to side. If you're here with me, just walk the feet in a little bit closer, and I'm just kind of rocking myself side to side, getting a little bit of a stretch in the side of the legs. Side of the hips. Good job. And then walk your feet in. We're going to stretch out the forearms next. So if you're down on the floor, you can stay there, or just use your chair or countertop. Palms down, fingers towards you, and gently lean back, rocking side to side. You can also do it one arm at a time by standing, elbow into the side, pull the fingers back, and stretch them out from there. So just looking to get some stretch in the forearms. Nice. All right, shake out those wrists. All right, if you're down on the floor, you want to make your way up. We're going to be going through some balance work or a single leg deadlift. If you're doing the single leg deadlift, I recommend having something to kind of support on. So I'm going to use the chair here. Side of a doorway works really well also. Either way, you're going to lift up out of that hip, holding the opposite leg up. You can start here. If you want to add the hinge, you'll be letting that leg go back, reaching down towards the floor, drive that support leg and stand. Okay, so from the side, you want to have that back leg extending up. You don't want to have it dropping down. So we're firing that glute as you hinge, so the thigh follows your torso. All right. And like I said, if you don't feel quite ready for that hinge, just work on your balance on that single leg. In between legs, we're going to be doing upwards of 60 seconds of our T push-ups. So I recommend maybe doing these elevated, feet a little bit wider. You lower the chest down, come up, and then you pivot your body, lifting up to that bottom shoulder. If you don't quite feel ready for the push-up, then you can just stay in the top of the plank and pivot side to side, getting some good openings. It's going to be upwards of 60 seconds. Take a break anytime throughout. And then when we finish those push-ups, we'll come and do our balance work on the opposite leg, 30 seconds of that. And then either resting or utilizing your bands, if you have them, for 30 seconds of pull-aparts. 3 sets of that, about 15 seconds in between exercises. We're going to start on the left leg. Does anyone have any questions? Let's go ahead and just grab a quick sip of water, and then we'll begin. Okay. 10 seconds till we start. Left leg first. Lifting up out of that support hip. And 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So you can hold smooth or begin that hinge. Wherever you are, make sure that support leg is not hyperextended on the knee. Just have a little bit of a bend. Push that big toe down, activating the arch of the foot. Very good. Bowing forward, firing the glute on that back leg, and rest. Fantastic. Transitioning to the push-ups next. Whatever version you do, just don't let those shoulders duck forward. So elbows into the side. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Upwards of a minute here. Core nice and strong as you lower down. Nice smooth breathing. Alternating sides, lifting up out of the support shoulder. Good position to rotate. That's our 30-second mark. You have good movements here. Elbows come to the side. Nice, strong pivot. Very good, everybody. 10 seconds left. And 2, 1, transition. We're going to the right leg this time. Either single leg balance or single leg deadlift. Lifting up out of the hip. It's great to support the same side that you're balancing on. Support that hand against something, and whenever you're ready, either standing tall or bowing forward. Thigh of that left leg drives up as you bow forward. Engage the glute. Very good. Moving with control. Keep that heel planted, grip the toes, engage the arch. And 3, 2, 1, resting there. Very good. Band pull aparts next. And that will be the end of set 1. I'm taking you through a total of 3. So on these guys, if you don't have bands, you can mimic the movement. Shoulders back and down, pull away. And whenever you're ready. Opening the chest, squeezing those shoulder blades together, and then relax in. And again, if I don't have the bands, I'm kind of just imagine if I push the air away. You can keep them horizontal. You can bring the arms down a little bit more. It just changes a little bit of which muscles are firing. 2, 1, and relax there. Good job. Grab a drink. Let's take 30 seconds in between sets. So that's 1 done. All right, everybody, 15 seconds till we begin. We're going to be back on our left leg. Stand up nice and strong out of the hip. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Bowing forward. You could also hold a little bit of weight here if you wanted in your non-working hand. Otherwise, just practice on control of the movement. Once you master that balance, you can always add weight later. Really important to keep lifting up out of the hip as you stand tall. 5 more seconds. And rest. Good job. Transitioning to the push-ups. If anything feels off on the shoulders, turn the push-up into that plank. Otherwise, place the hands right underneath the shoulders. 2, 1, here we go. Elbows in towards the side, about 30 to 45 degrees away from the body. We want to avoid that like 90-degree position where you see a lot of times it's easy to shoot those elbows out wide. Doesn't leave our shoulders in the best position. Keep firing the core. Make sure that you don't allow that low back to arch. Holding strong through the belly button. 30 seconds done. Well done. 15 seconds left. If you need to rest early, give yourself a little bit of a break. Good movements. 2, 1, and transition. Good job, everybody. Right leg is next. Find that balance, lifting up nice and strong out of the hip. And 2, 1, here we go. Bowing forward. Back leg drives up. Just sliding the hand down the wall, base of support, or down the side of the chair here that I'm using. Good Good job. Looks good, Jean. It's Diane. Very good, Laura. Nice job with that back leg. Almost there. And rest. Nice job. Pull apart's next. Or if you want a minute rest in between rounds, give yourself a break from the pull aparts. We'll be doing some horizontal rows in the next piece. Otherwise, here we go. Shoulder blades back and down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good job. Just pay attention as always that we don't want to let those ribs flare up. So ribs down, midline neutral. 2, 1, and shake it out. Fantastic. Good job. There's 2 rounds down. 30 seconds rest till we go into our last time through. Good time to grab a drink. I'm going to show this one from the side. All right, 10 seconds. Back on that left leg. Last bit of balance work for the day. Lifting up out of the hip, 2, 1, here we go. Really focus here, hips and shoulders stay square. Pulling up through the core as you stand tall before you send the hips back and down. And if you feel a little bit off, just hang out for that single leg balance. Hello, Anne. Job, really firing that back leg to get that thigh to come up nice and high as your chest comes forward. And rest. Great job. Transitioning to push-ups, last cycle through. Remember, these are going to be the push-ups with that rotation, so set the feet about hip width apart, place the hands right underneath those shoulders, and whenever you're ready, shoulder blades back and down. Lifting up out of that shoulder as you pivot. Alternating arms each time. Lifting up, pivot and reach. Down and in. Fantastic. Good. There's 30 seconds. There's 45 seconds. Almost there. Two, 1, and transition. Coming up to the right leg next. Stand up strong out of that hip, either holding for the single leg balance or into the hinging. Bowing forward, using your right hand against the wall or the chair for support. Drive that back leg high. Good job. Well done. Try to find a spot to focus on. Fantastic. And 3, 2, 1, all set there. Last little bit of pull aparts. And that will complete our first circuit. All right, standing nice and tall, ribs down, reaching out in front, and here we go. Opening that chest. Your shoulder blades are kind of like an awkward triangle shape where you have like the one part pointing down the back of the spine. So think about trying to touch those 2 points of the triangles together as you open those shoulders. And rest. Fantastic. You've got one of these bands here. Go ahead and just kind of bring it up to overhead. Opening through the chest, keeping the ribs down. If you don't have bands, you can just pretend you have a band and circle the arms around. Very good. And then one more, when you get up there, just kind of add some side bends, rotate, see what feels good to your body. Beautiful. All right, shake that out. We're gonna open up the hips a little bit more as we're getting ready for some squatting for the next piece. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and take a seat. Gonna come to the edge of the chair. You're gonna pull your leg around to the opposite side. We're gonna open up through the glutes a little bit here. So pull the knee towards your opposite hip. Sitting nice and tall, breathe. The next piece, we have 3 exercises, technically 2. One is a single arm thruster, which will involve a squat to an overhead press. We can modify that. Just do an overhead press or a little dip and drive. Go ahead and switch sides. Same thing on the other side. Glute stretch. And those of you that are crossing the legs, I like to use the knee of the down leg to kind of pull that other leg around. Allows the upper body not have to do as much work. Sitting tall. And then we have a seated row or a bent over row. All right, we're gonna go back to the first leg, working that foot up the opposite thigh, looking to come a little bit deeper in that figure 4. Sit tall and bow forward. And again, we don't want any of these to be intense stretches, just saying hello, opening up the hips. If it makes you want to cringe, then back out of that stretch a little bit. Feel free to close the eyes. Let's take about 2 more breaths on this side and then we'll switch. And whenever you're ready, same thing other side. Put that foot in and up. Sitting tall, leaning forward. All right, once you have those hips opening up a little bit there, make your way up. We're gonna go back to our stagger stance position like we did earlier on. And we're gonna take that back foot, whatever one's back, reach that arm up, bend the elbow, keep that chest nice and tall. If it's hard for you to get into this position, go with this position that we did earlier. Otherwise, we're gonna add those side bends in that stagger stance. So it's not like I'm on a tightrope. I have my feet hip width apart, both feet firmly planted, chest tall, and a couple side bends. Very good. We'll go 3 to 5, and then we'll switch sides. Nice job. Same thing other side. Reach up. Very good. Once you finish that one, make sure you get to a 3 to 5. Go behind the back stretch next. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the 2 movements. So the first one is going to be that single arm thruster. So without assist, you're going to squat down, stand, push to overhead. Okay. You can also do a little dip and drive here, or you could take out the overhead and just do the squat on one side. Be 30 seconds on one side. We'll shake it out for 15. Do the same on the other. You're also welcome to use a chair where you sit back, lightly touch, and then stand and push from there. Okay. After we've done the thruster on both sides, you can either use your band and do it seated with the foot around the band, sit tall, horizontal row this time, elbows in, or you can use your weight, stand tall, come into more of a bent over position, and use either 2 hands with a weight in each hand, or I'm holding one horizontally like so. Okay. So those will be our 2 movements. Let's go ahead and warm up that squat a little bit more. If you hold onto a chair or a doorway or a countertop, grab on, have your feet about hip width apart, slight toe out, and start to lower down into that squat. As far as you can go without having a whole lot of pain. If you do have a little bit, it should be kind of like, all right, it feels good. As my husband likes to say, breaking off the calcium, getting those joints moving after the weekend. All right, and then your heels are planted, knees pushing out. Fantastic. So it's gonna be 3 rounds, left arm thruster, 15 seconds rest. Right arm thruster, 15 seconds rest. Bent over row, 30 seconds rest. Questions before we begin? All right. If there are no questions, we're going to go in 15 seconds, starting on that left. Place the feet just outside the hips, just a little bit of a toe out, helps open up through the hips. Standing nice and tall. And 3, 2, 1. Here we go. I use my non-working arm to reach out, kind of serves as a counterbalance. Bye, Charlie. Breeze fluid here. Really warming it up on this first round. Fantastic. Great overhead, Sharon. Try to have each rep look the same, and the breathing should sound similar as well. And rest. Good job. We're sticking with those squats, 15 seconds in between sides. Chest nice and tall, placing the feet. 2, 1, here we go. Send those knees out, chest tall. Welcome, Shirley, great to see you.
Thank you.
Make sure you just ease into it. Very good, that's our halfway on this side. Sending the hips back, pushing tall. Good job. 2, 1, and rest. If you have those bands, use your band in the seated position. That's what I'm going to demo the first round, or that bent over row. So if you have a band, or you can mimic it, you'll put it around one foot, pull, and elbows into the side. Reach forward, pull those elbows back and in. Good job. Keep going there. Halfway. We're not so much worried about speed here, but really that good quality position in the back. Squeeze those elbows in tight, reach, and then in and hold, and rest. Fantastic. That's cycle 1. We're going to take 30 seconds before we move into set 2. Grab some water. And if it feels better to maybe just do set 1 and set 3, take this round off, kind of use it for a little bit of a rest or just walking around, keeping some blood flow. Otherwise, left arm thruster, going in 5. Set the feet, 2, 1, here we go. Controlling back to a chair or without, pushing straight to overhead. Fantastic. There you go. Good, Diane. Nice tall chest as you lower. And as that weight comes down, keep that elbow and shoulder engaged. So I try to keep that elbow up and forward as I lower into the squat. Support through that shoulder. 2, 1, rest in between sides. Nice job. All right, set 2. Weight in the right arm this time. 2, 1, here we go. Knees push out as the hips sink down. And it's called a thruster because the idea is out of that squat, you kind of thrust the hips to give a little bit of that lift to encourage that overhead position. Good. Moving well. 2, 1, and rest. Either back to that seated row or I'm going to demo from the bent over position this round. You can use the bands or weights. 2, 1, here we go. If you're doing the bent over, core engage, keep those heels grounded, supporting through the back, elbows high. And as always, don't forget to breathe. Breathing through the movement. And in that bent over position, fire those glutes as well. Make sure those guys are working to hold yourself in this position. and rest. Good work, everybody. That's 2 down. 1 more to go on this set. If you're feeling good, I want to pick up the tempo. Otherwise, just look to be consistent throughout. 10 seconds till we start set 3. Back to the left arm. Feet about hip width apart, slight toe out. 2, 1, here we go. This is the end of the squatting for the day after this set. Reach and drive. 10 seconds to go. 2, 1, and rest in between arms. Well done. All right, this will get the heart rate up. Rest a little bit longer if you need to. Otherwise, going in 2, 1, and final time on the right. Sit back, drive tall. Nice work. Eyes ahead on those squats. Heels planted, chest up. Well done. 2, 1, all done with the squats. Nice job. Bent over row or a seated row. I'm gonna go back to demo the seated position. As always, if you don't have a band, just move as if you do. Otherwise, put it around 1 foot, sit nice and tall. Squeezing those elbows back and in. Begin when you're ready. Good time to just give the eyes a break as well, especially if you're seated. If you're bent over, I would stay focused with your eyes open. Keep the breathing going. Strengthen the muscles of the back. Hold us tall and strong and upright. And rest. Great job, everybody. Nice job on that circuit. Let's grab some water. And we just have 1 more set if you're still feeling good. Whew. If you've been up early walking dogs or doing all the things, and if your body has said enough, then listen to that. Otherwise, we have a 10-minute piece to finish. Upwards of 4 exercises. 30 seconds each. We start with a weighted march. Weighted or unweighted, you can hold weights at your side, or you can hold it up at the chest. 30 seconds of a march. From there, we're going to go directly into a burpee. I'll be demonstrating it from an elevated position where you come to the top of the push-up, step up, engage the glutes, reach to overhead. Alternate which foot steps up first. You're also welcome to come to the floor. Top of the push-up. You can hop the feet or step, just keep the core engaged. From the burpee, we go to the mountain climbers, so either on the floor or elevated, keeping your hips square and up and down, okay? I had someone last week that the mountain climbers weren't quite good. You could do like a hip rock from a plank position or just hold a normal plank. And then you can either take a 30-second rest in between rounds, or if you want to keep yourself moving for all 10 minutes, you can do step jacks or jump jacks, okay? After that, we would return back to the weighted march or do every other round, and then you'll get in 3 total. Any questions before we begin? All right, if there are no questions, grab a quick drink and we're gonna start in 15 seconds. Like I said, I'll be demonstrating from this group everything elevated, but if you wanna work off the floor, feel free. Weighted march to start. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Try to pace yourself throughout so you can be moving consistently throughout. There's not assigned rest in between exercises, so just transition whenever you're ready. Rest as needed. There's 15 seconds in. Burpees are our second exercise. It's going to be from the top of the push-up up to standing. 2, 1, and transition. Step back, strong in the core, step up, engage the glutes, reach high to overhead. Alternating which leg steps up and back. Very good. Again, firing those glutes to pull your body upright. Place those feet. And mountain climbers next. So holding the top of that plank, lifting the knee towards the same side elbow. As you lift that knee, hold the core strong so the hips stay square. It's easy to have a lot of rock back and forth on this exercise. Ten seconds. So you can either rest after this or join me for the step jacks or jumping jacks. This will be the end of set 1. And here we go, either rest or step jacks and jump jacks. Fantastic. Now you know the pattern. If you choose to work every other round, that'll be 2 minutes of work, 2 minutes of rest. 10 seconds. Till we're back to that march. Weighted or unweighted, whichever makes the most sense for you. 2, 1, here we go. Set 2. Knees up, toes up. You can either do it in place or walk around in your area. Making sure you don't have any trip hazards. Nice, smooth breathing. A little bit of thigh burn after those thrusters. Burpees are next. 2, 1, and transition. Pay attention to how you put your weights down. Breathe as you move here. Fire those glutes, reaching high to overhead. If you tend to get dizzy, try to find a spot that as you stand, you look at that same spot straight ahead. Fantastic. Less than 10 seconds till we start those mountain climbers. Good job. And mountain climbers when you're ready. Focus on the stability over speed. So holding stable through the midsection. Checking in with those elbows. Have just a little bit of give, especially if you tend to be pretty mobile there. 10 seconds left. 2, 1, either rest or step jacks, jump jacks. Nice job, everybody. This is the end of round 2. Fantastic. Working on some stamina today. Lots of balance work earlier. 10 seconds till we start set 3. So if you took set 2 off and you're feeling ready to jump back in, we're going to be back to that weighted march. And 2, 1, here we go. You can also hold weights at the side. 1 hand or 2 hand. We want to pay attention though is how we're holding the shoulders on our torso. So you don't want to let your shoulders start to fall forward. Lift up tall out of your chest. Shoulders stacked over your hips. 5 seconds. Burpees are next. 2, 1, and here we go. Place the hands, step the feet back. Fire the glutes, standing tall. Moving well, everybody. This is our middle round, round 3 of 5. 2, 1, mountain climbers. Remember, hips stable, knees high, or as high as feels comfortable for your body. Don't allow yourself to drop into those shoulders, so continue to lift up against gravity. Lifting right between the shoulder blades. 10 seconds. Coming up on that rest break or some jumping jacks. Here we go, transitioning. End of set 3. Well done. Great job, Jean. There you go. Nice, Anne. All right, everybody, we're over halfway. If you're doing all 5 with us, we have 2 to go. 5 seconds, going back to that weighted march, or just do it unweighted. You can even add a punch and twist. Here we go, start of 4. And as we're marching, we're focused on our core to stay engaged, shoulders stacked right over those hips, knees up, toes up. Well done. Staying tall, staying focused. 2, 1, set it down well. Transition to those burpees. Place the hands right underneath the shoulders. Step back, step up. Fire the glutes, standing tall, reaching to overhead. It's like a little mini celebration. Every time you reach up to overhead or off the ground or standing tall. Woohoo! We're alive and breathing. 2, 1, climb the mountain. Hips square, knees up. Breathing here. Those knees come up, they kind of compress our diaphragm a little bit, challenges that breathing. Pay attention to the hands as well. Grip those finger pads down, support the wrist. 2, 1, either resting or our step jacks, jump jacks. Woo! Nice job. End of set 4. That means we just have 1 left. Good. All right, everybody, 10 seconds. If you're feeling good, let's try to get everybody in on this last round and starting in 5, 3, 2, 1, final march. Breathe, smile. See if you have any fond memories being a little kid, maybe marching in a parade. Halloween's coming around, where we used to have like a big march around the school, everybody in their costumes. And 3, 2, 1, final bit of burpees. Staying strong. Keep that breathing steady. Fire the glutes, reach to overhead. There you go, good work. 10 seconds left on these burpees. And the final mountain climb. 2, 1, mountain climbers. Good job. Keep that core working now. Focus in on the hips, not letting them bounce around, holding center. We do all that lower core work to help with this as well. 10 seconds. 2, 1, and let's have everybody up. And just a little bit of those step jacks or jumping jacks. Final stretch, crew. Good. You can give it a little hand clap overhead. 10 seconds. And 2, 1, woo, all done. Fantastic. Give yourself a round of applause. Virtual high fives. Let's walk it out, grab some water. Woo, nice work. Well, we started small, but fun group here today. Thanks, everybody, for coming. All right, we're gonna do some cool down stretches. If If you have a doorway or a wall that you can go to, we're going to start with the upper body, keep ourselves on our feet for a little bit if we can. Go ahead and take your hand right about shoulder height. And now you're going to walk your fingertips up the doorway, the wall, however it feels. And then wherever it kind of feels like, all right, I'm getting a little bit of a stretch there, just gently kind of lean in. So I'm holding strong in the core, just gently leading my body in. And then from there, walk the finger back behind you just a little bit, step your inside leg forward, and then turn away from the side you're stretching. So I have like flat palm here. You can even back it up and put your forearm on the post. That's how we do it a lot of times as well. And then we're going to step out of that. If you're against a wall, come to a chair or grab the doorway. You're going to grab on, walk your feet back, and then just kind of hang on. Your non-stretching arm is going to reach under towards the opposite thigh, and see if you can just try to look and peer underneath that shoulder. Get a nice stretch along the side of the body, through the lats. And come up out of that when you're ready. We're going to go back to the wall for that left side. Let's see if I can come to this side. So again, starting with the hand about shoulder height, walk the fingers up the wall or door frame. And then you're just going to gently lean your body in towards the side. So I lean away, and then I gently lean in. Come away and lean in. From there, walking the hand back behind just a little bit. Inside leg steps forward. Cosmo says hello. And turning away. Very good. And then we're going to finish with the lat stretch on that side. I'm going to come back to the chair. Kind of gently grabbing on, walking the feet back. Core stays engaged. Hang on slightly. And then opposite arm, and see if you can kind of peer under that same side shoulder. I feel this all along the side of the body here, a little bit into my low back. Again, just gently stretching. And coming out of that. Very good. So either your stagger stance that we did earlier, or if you're able to grab that foot for quad stretch. Open up the quad. Good job. Let's go about another 15 seconds here. Focus on the breath, nice deep breaths. Bringing the heart rate back down, relax and switch sides. Same thing other side. So again, if you can't quite get the foot, stand in that stagger stance and work on that upper hip flexor, shifting forward. If you can grab the foot, grab the foot. Get a little bit deeper into that quad stretch. Very good. 10 more seconds. And resting. Fantastic. Wide base stance. Interlace the hands behind you. Extend those arms up and back. Stay here or bend those knees. Get grounded in the feet. Send the hips back for that forward fold. And breathe in the back of the rib cage. If you're in that forward fold, tuck the hips under, gradually come up. And wherever you are, let's shake out those arms. Don't slap anything that never feels good. And some shoulder rolls back with arms reaching overhead, everything back and down. Beautiful. Fantastic. And then we're just going to finish. I know some of you mentioned you had to jump off for another class. Thanks for coming. Otherwise, let's finish it with a little bit of hip openers. Bye, Diane. Sitting tall. Same stretches that we did earlier. You can also do these lying on your back if you prefer. Pull the knee up and around. Just using that leg that's on the floor to kind of pull it around a little bit. Stretching through the side of the glute. Sitting tall. Good. Go ahead and relax the feet down. Sit tall. You can, if you have a handle on your chair, you can just gently push into that, or you just use yourself on the hands, just a little bit deeper into the twist. Lengthen through the spine, look over the shoulder. One more breath, and then let's switch sides. Go into that glute stretch on the opposite side. Pulling up and across, peering over the opposite shoulder, pulling the leg around. And then feet flat, a little bit deeper into that seated twist. Using the hands to push yourself a little bit deeper. Very good. And then last one, everybody, figure 4. Working that foot towards the opposite leg. If you're on your back, hug the leg in. Sitting tall, sit forward. We're going to go 20 seconds on each side. Great time. Relax those eyes closed. Give all those muscles of your eyes a break, especially from looking at screens. So much of our world these days. Very good. Switch when you're ready. Other side. Sitting tall, hug it in. Nice deep breaths. And relax. If you're on your back, go ahead and hug both legs in. If you're seated in the chair, this will be our last one. Kind of come to the edge of the chair. Feet are both flat on the ground. Slide the hands down the legs. Core strong. Just a little bit like a forward fold here. Open up the back. And use your judgment on how far you want to go. You can bring that chin in towards the chest. Let the head be heavy. If you're on your back, just kind of rock side to side. And come up when you're ready. All right, everybody. Stay hydrated, drink plenty of water. Appreciate you being here.